What's good, everyone? Themed out here, live at Sandusky, Ohio, here to check out Dot.
No, we've already been recording. We can find the intro and then cut it.
No, that's not even possible at all.
Yes, it is.
Themed out here, live at Sandusky, Ohio, opening weekend of Cedar Point's Top Thrill 2. I don't know what to do with my hand. So for the first start, we are going to try from Market Garden Brewing, Top Thrill 2 High Point.
It's a lemon shandy made for the 2024 season for the new Top Thrill 2. It tastes pretty good.
It's definitely chuggable.
Yeah.
It's like a lemony Budweiser.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I would get it again. It is $15.
It's a little bit expensive. So this is Breakers. We're going to go into Tomo to get reservations. So I don't know why the fuck they would have a telephone right inside a hotel Breakers like that, because I am going to dial somebody. All right, so typically what we do, if it's like rainy or colder weather, which today it's between 51 and 61, depending on the second, it's pretty windy. What we typically do when that does happen is we go to the arcade. Typically the price of the arcade aren't too bad, but it's just something kind of to buy some time and also give you a little bit of cover if it is raining.
One thing that we wanted to touch base on is the importance of getting a all-season drink pass. If you do plan to come to Cedar Point multiple times throughout the season and you have a gold pass or some sort of season pass to the park, I think that it is 100% worth it to get the all-season drink plan. They give you a refill every 15 minutes, and it's $34.99 to purchase that as an add-on to your season pass at Cedar Point.
It's not too bad. Typically what I do is I usually just use it for water. I don't really want to drink a bunch of sugary drinks while I'm here, just because you're usually walking around a little bit. So it's not that worth it to be drinking pop all day. Because it's a little bit colder out, we decided to go to the Grand Pavilion to grab a few drinks. I went with the smoked old fashioned, while Lex went with the Sandusky Bay Breeze.
There is fresh watermelon and pineapple on this. It's super refreshing. I think this would be such a good drink on a hot day, unlike today, but it's still really good. Cool.
Welcome to Sandusky, Ohio, where you're going to see the ugliest people you've ever seen in your life. Luckily, we did ride TT2 last weekend because it's closed all day today because of the wind. As of right now, Top Thrill 2 is closed. Top Thrill 2 is closed. For some reason, it's a really weird week. It's hella busy. The reason why is because you have Colossal Con over at Kalahari, which is an anime convention. That's always fun. And then you have Bike Week. That's always fun. And then for some reason, somebody decided to want to make a Facebook goth day here. If I see one, I'll hiss at them because it'll be really funny.
All right, one thing I like to do at Cedar Point is get a fortune from Zoltar. Okay, and it says tap unavailable. So we're not going to be able to do it. Our biggest news is that a camel and goats got loose.
And we are here to let all of the camels and goats out.
They added a human claw machine.
So Lex did do the human claw machine.
I did.
It doesn't have a season pass discount to it because it's another company, I think, running it.
You're not necessarily paying for the prize. You're paying for the experience of being the claw.
So we went over to the French Quarter and got ourselves a funnel cake. Lex loves funnel cakes and has to get one every year.
I feel like there's no easy way to eat a funnel cake. I feel like you just have to dig into it.
Initial thoughts?
It's super good.
This year for Halloweekends, we decided on staying somewhere new to us, and that brought us to the Cedar Point property, Sawmill Creek. For starters, I really enjoy this room and the vibe of the entire hotel. They do a great job of capturing the cozy cabin vibes. This room is very spacious, and we decided on the room with one king-size bed and jacuzzi tub.
What do we have here?
The bathroom is a pretty standard hotel bathroom. One thing I love is the magnifying mirror. There's also a lot of counter space, a nice large mirror, and a walk-in shower. The centerpiece of this room is the giant jacuzzi tub. This tub is so nice and deep, and I love the cabin feel it has.
The TV is really nice because you can angle it at the tub or at the bed. Oh, and there's the microwave, and we are right back at the bed again. We really like this place, and all the employees were really nice. We booked again for 2025. We are here at the second weekend of Halloweekends at Cedar Point. It's good to be back at home, and we just got back from Universal. We're kind of going to show you our whole Halloween. You are in for a treat. We have traveled all over the place this September and October to give you the best treats we can.
And some tricks.
So we're trying to figure out what to do now that we're here. We've walked around the park, at least through Frontier Town one time, but there's rides open. There's not that many. It's not the craziest night. It looks busier than what it is. It
does. Like, as we walk through the crowds, it seems like we're dodging people left and right, but we also check the wait times, and it seems so much like less busy as far as wait times go. So the first drink that we got is the Market Garden Brewery. It's the Hollow Ale. I don't know how well it's going to show, but it is a pumpkin spice ale, so I'm pretty excited to try it. It's a local Ohio brewery, so that's awesome. It doesn't seem like super, I mean, it's good. It's just, it is what you would, it doesn't have anything that's like super special in my opinion.
Very similar, if you ever have Great Lakes from the Cleveland area, very similar to an Oktoberfest. A little bit savory on the back end, has a little bit of a bite on the front end. The Hellfire fries. First impressions of the Hellfire fries, I do like really spicy stuff. They aren't that spicy. Is it beating you up that much?
I think it was just the Cheeto dust.
The next thing that we tried is, you remember what they're called?
The gargoyle wings, the glazed gargoyle wings. The description says 2 smoked chicken drumsticks, fried and tossed with a candy gloss shell. I feel like a barbarian.
I didn't mind it that much. It is a messier item to eat. It had a good sweet heat to it, I would say.
This season overall had some new and exciting experiences like the interactive lantern, themed food, and a new Mr. Midnight show. Where I believe we need some improvement is the haunted houses at the park. The haunted houses featured this year included Bloodbath, Midnight, Fearground Freak Show, Slaughterhouse, and the Haunting of Erie Estate. My main issue with this is that most of these houses are repeated every single year. Not having variety within the houses leaves something to be desired for those that come to Halloweekends every year to experience the event. I'm excited to see what the 2025 season of Halloweekends brings since the official merge with Six Flags. I'm wondering if this will open up options for Cedar Point to bring some of the intellectual properties that Six Flags has access to their park. The VIP Millennium Lounge is an exclusive lounge located near Millennium Force, and guests that have access to the lounge can enjoy in and out privileges all day. There are 2 ways to get into the lounge, one being a park admission ticket and a VIP Millennium Lounge ticket, or by being a Prestige Pass holder. Access to the lounge is included as a Prestige Pass holder benefit. While in the lounge, you have a quieter place away from all the hustle and bustle to sit back, watch some TV, and enjoy complimentary snacks and flavor-infused water. One of my favorite parts of experiencing Halloweekends are night rides on some of my favorite roller coasters. Since the park closes at midnight on certain nights, you can get in line at 11:59 and get a chilly night ride. I love this especially during Halloweekends because of all of the fog in the park. The energy is truly unmatched during the fall season.
Speaking of night rides, the best time to get a night ride on Maverick is during Halloweekends. Reason being, there's a haunted walkthrough called Cutthroat Cove that runs through it during that time, so all of the lights are turned off. You can't tell what direction you're going in, and there's a bunch of fog. This ride is unmatched in the best ride of the season. I make sure I get it every single year.
Overall, this season of Halloweekends was an absolute blast.
This brings us to an end of our 2024 Cedar Point season. We're sad to see it go, but we are excited for Siren's Curse to open in 2025, as well as the reopen of TT2. Now, we'll bring you Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando, coming to you in 3, 2. What's good, everyone? Themed out here, coming to you from Orlando at HHN 2024.
Yeah, we're here.
Grab your Blinky Cup.
2024 marked the 4th year in a row of Halloween Horror Nights for us. This event quickly became a tradition after our first visit in 2021. Halloween Horror Nights boasts a whopping 10 haunted houses and 5 scare zones.
HHN 33 was a massive success for us. We did HHN for 3 nights with Express, and there is so much to see and do. What you prioritize and what is important to you can vary from person to person. And each year we go to HHN, we kind of tweak our plan of action to navigate the parks and see what works best for us. Since we like to focus on the houses, we usually try to get walkthroughs of all of the houses before doing anything else. My favorite house this year had to be Insidious the Further. I absolutely love the Insidious movies, and this house did not disappoint.
I agree. I definitely would say that Insidious took the cake when it comes down to being the best house of the year. I think one of my next favorite houses had to be Monstrose and Triplets of Terror. I really enjoyed these houses. Monstrose was really cool because you had Lamort, I think his name is, and he was the one that kind of led you through and narrated everything going through each creature, which was super cool. Triplets of Terror had a really cool lore to it that was a family that murdered on a certain day every year. I don't want to say it's a birthday, but it felt like it was a killing birthday is what we'll call it now. But I thought the whole lore was cool. It reminded me of being in the video game Resident Evil 7 when you're in the happy birthday video part. They did it super well, and I just had a really good time with those houses specifically.
Surreal Scare Zone Demon Queens, I loved the vibe and the colors throughout this zone, and I loved all of the costumes that the scare actors were in this zone, but overall it felt lacking compared to the others. Duality of Fear at the front of the park should not have even been considered a scare zone in my opinion. It was lacking in props, and there was just a few chainsaw actors roaming around. The cool thing about this zone, though, is that Sinister and Surreal would be at the top of the Halloween Horror Night sign greeting guests into the park. One thing this year that was a bit of a miss for me was the merchandise for HHN. Typically, I walk away from HHN each year wanting a bunch of different items. This year, I think the coolest piece of merch that was released was the Mel's Die-In glow-in-the-dark t-shirt, which was a pass holder exclusive, and I did pick one of those up. I was hoping for an Insidious lanyard, but for whatever reason there wasn't one, so we ended up getting the Lil Boo one. We were also lucky enough to snag a couple of the Blinky Cups before they took them away.
Word on the street is that a Blinky Cup exploded in somebody's hand and they no longer have a hand.
The other merch highlight this year, which isn't technically HHN merch, but I just have to mention it, is the Creature from the Black Lagoon 70-year anniversary candle. I fell in love with the earthy scent of this candle. Sinister and Surreal were the icons of the year, and between the two, I have to give it to Sinister. The Torture Fair Scare Zone was such a hit, and I enjoyed the stage show that they put on for this zone. I also enjoyed the fun actors in the Torture Fair Scare Zone, like the Jester. We didn't try much HHN food this season, but my main question is, where was the Blood and Guts Twisted Tater? Every year we get one, and this year I was so disappointed.
The Dead Coconut Club featured an 80s vampire theme. We usually like to come here in the middle of our night to watch those two people dance.
I loved all of the neon lighting and decor through this space.
They have a lot of awesome photo ops. They had the Purge. They had the Grabber, which ended up getting roped off because everybody kept harassing him.
And then they had Happy Death Day, which was really cool touch to everything. There's still Happy Death Day. But then they went over to the Purge again. That was actually one of the best photo ops. Also, they had this really creepy Megan doll that just felt like it was going to pop right out at you.
We just completed the Eloise Asylum haunted house, and honestly, it was awesome. I loved it.
The attention to detail and like the change in the flooring was honestly amazing. You think about that haunt
For the animatronics that they have and the dummies and the real people, very well put together. I'm a retired Navy, and I felt like I was out to sea. The room was tilting, and then the way they had the adjusted of the lights towards the floor, towards the end of the basement run, it makes you feel like you're sort of walking in water.
I was very impressed.
that was super dope.
And that is the end of our 2024 haunt season.
And 2024 coaster season.
In Ohio, we have one thing, it's called winter.
Yeah.
It kind of
It's bittersweet,
sucks.
but I would not want to ride roller coasters in any colder weather than this. It's already pretty chilly here.
But thanks for tuning in.